Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and recently the Mordor release date, or intended release date rather, and the editions you can get has been announced. So right now you can see the Ultimate Fan Bundle on the left, Collector's Edition in the middle, Standard Edition on the right. So the Ultimate Fan Bundle right here has a bunch of stuff, the Collector's Edition has some stuff, and the Standard Edition has barely any extra stuff, I should say. Because they all do have quite a bit of stuff with quest, deeds, the allegiance system, and the instance cluster and raid, which will actually come later in update. Could be update 22, but it might be update 20.1, I'm not sure at this point yet. But the release date here is intended for July 31st, 2017, which is in maybe about 2 weeks from this video. And in the event of delay, it will be no later than August 31st, which would be about 7 weeks from now. On the release date part, I think that is actually pretty early, if not way too early. Considering all things in the game that I'd want to see change that people probably would not really care too much about, and they would actually rather new content where I'd rather see some other stuff changed and maybe fixed. Other people do want to see new content, and I understand that, and I even want to see new content too, and a new expansion's always exciting, but releasing it too early can be really bad. And just the way from the beta that I played, like all the stuff that they seem to plan to implement but haven't yet, and just haven't really seemed to done much towards yet, I think that's pretty early. I was thinking maybe August for the release date. Like, I would have thought August 31st would have been an actual release date. So, I just think that's pretty early. It could be good. I mean, I could be worrying about nothing, but I am definitely worried, and I just think it could be pushed back maybe even a couple months. I would rather a smooth launch with pretty much all the features already implemented, all the avatar changes for all the races already implemented. So if it took till September, even early 2018, I would actually rather that. And I'd actually have liked to see leveling instances in Mordor. I'm not sure if the instance clusters planned on being that, but if they had to delay it so that instance and raid could be with it so you could do those while leveling or something, I would also rather that. But that's just my opinion on that. Maybe you want to see it early and get it out as early as possible. I just worry that it might be too buggy and kind of too featureless and a lot of not finished things once it releases that we will see in later updates. I'd rather have all those things released at once with the actual expansion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the different bundles, editions, and prices. So, $40 for the standard edition, that's pretty typical. You can see it comes with the Araya the Valor boost, which gets you to 105. That's good. That's pretty common practice for expansions nowadays in games to give you a level boost to the beginning of wherever that expansion starts. But if we look at the Collector's Edition, you'll see that also has the Araya Valor High Elf Race character slot. Wait, High Elf Race? That means that if you get the Standard Edition, it does not include the High Elf. I think this is a big mistake, and I'm actually pretty upset about it. I know there's been a lot of fuss on Twitter, Reddit, and game, and pretty much everywhere that I've checked that High Elf is not included with the expansion, and I agree with that. I think High Elf race should be base with the expansion. Like, I think it's kind of fair to compare if Moria, when it released, you had to buy the Rune Keeper and Warden separately, or you had to get a $40 more expensive bundle to get those two classes. So I just think that's really bad, and that High Elf race should come with the base expansion no matter which edition you get. It should just be part of the expansion. So if you get the standard edition, you can get the High Elf race after update 22 this winter. So on the fact they say after update 22, I assume that means when update 22 is released, but the way it's worded, they could get away with releasing it after update 22, like update 22.1, just sometime this winter. This winter would be 2016 to 2017, whenever winter ends, so maybe February or March at the latest, December at the earliest. So You have to wait like half a year, pretty much would be a safe estimate, to be able to play the high elf race if you only get the $40 bundle with just expansion and the Eye of the Valor. So that I am pretty upset about. So you do get a character slot with the collector's edition, which I always want more character slots, so that's nice. You get an exclusive Alliance cosmetic, armor, cloak, and kite. That's pretty nice. You know, you can expect that with a collector's edition. Exclusive title, that's pretty expectable. An exclusive mount, that's pretty expectable. The price on this is $80 though, so again, to get the high elf race, you have to spend twice as much as the regular edition. And you don't really get that much more. You get a cosmetic set, and you get like the mount that matches that, a character slot. So the way this is now, I don't really think it's worth that price. Even for the exclusive cosmetics, you can see what the cosmetic looks like here. I'll switch it back. I mean, some people might like the cosmetic and that's all good. It's just not a personal favorite based on that little image that doesn't have too much detail. But I can see people liking that, and getting an exclusive thing like that with the collector's edition is good. I just personally don't think that's worth that price of $80. I think it would be more worth $60, which I think is in line with previous expansion packs. And the Ultimate Fan Bundle, I like the idea of there being a very expensive bundle for people who wish to support Standing Stone Games and maybe want more exclusive stuff or just more stuff in general. And this is one I would consider getting if it weren't so expensive. You see here it's $130, which is $50 more than the collector's edition, but we'll see if it looks like it's worth the $50 more. And I mean, if I had the money, that would be something I would still probably get, but I just don't have the money, and that particular edition's too expensive for me. But it includes all this stuff. It also includes exclusive cosmetics, the Alliance ones. So that kind of makes it less exclusive. The collector's edition less exclusive since you can get an Ultimate Fan Bundle, but you should expect that anyway, that a more expensive bundle will include the stuff in a cheaper bundle. But anyway, this also has a Mordor counterpart for the cosmetics and Mordor mount and stuff like that. So this has 2 exclusive titles. I mean, if you like titles, I don't really pay attention or care too much for titles, so if you just want another title, I guess that's okay. So say a cosmetic set, I mean, I wouldn't care too much for a cosmetic set. I like the cosmetic sets I have in the game right now. You can see the Mordor version here. I again don't think that looks too great. The horse maybe looks okay. It's kind of hard to tell again in that little picture. So what I would put, personally I wouldn't pay $5 for a cosmetic set, but based on I think what is in the store now and just what you could expect, it's maybe $15 would be a good estimate for a cosmetic set. So that means it's already $15 more, which would be about $95 using my estimate. Again, that may not be accurate. It might be more like 20 or 25, but I'm really biased because I don't care too much for paying that much for cosmetics. The title may be worth $1. I wouldn't consider it worth more. Equipable XP accelerator, now that's nice, but I do think that should also be in the collector's edition. I mean, that came with I think it came with the middle tier one with all the other expansions. Actually, I don't really remember too much with the other expansions, but I think most of that stuff came with middle tier, which is the ones I got, I think, because I got the XP boost with the other ones and stuff. But it doesn't say what slot it goes into. I assume it's another pocket item that's maximum level will be 105. So that's kind of okay. The exclusive housing teleport for all characters, I think that teleports you to Mordor from your house, so that's pretty useful. I mean, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to use it too much, but I can see that being pretty useful and just a nice thing for people to have. I think that is a good thing to include in the most expensive one, so that's one of the few positives of this video that I've seen is that. 3 relics for all characters. I assume those are just like regular, the new Mordor relics, so just something to include in the Ultimate Fan Bundle to give them extra. I guess that's okay. 2 Essence Reclamation Scrolls for all characters, so that's actually pretty convenient that all characters will get that. I assume they'll be bound to characters, so you can't send them to your main and keep making alts like all the other stuff they have like that's bound to a character. So that is, I mean, something like that is starting to make an Ultimate Fan Bundle seem more worth it. The 10 extra shared storage slots to store all your new armor and stuff like that, again, that's just a nice thing to tag on to the Ultimate Fan Bundle to make people more wanting to purchase it. And the code for a month of VIP access is nice. Which reminds me, one thing to note is none of these have flat LOTRO points. I mean, the VIP access will give you 500 LOTRO points, but if you're like a lifetime member, you don't really need the VIP, and if you give that away or give it to somebody, they would get the 500 LOTRO points, so it's not like giving you 500 LOTRO points really, even though you can use it and get 500 LOTRO points. So a month of VIP, like 1 month would be $15, so that does add some value, but if you get like a 3-month bundle, it's $10, and then it can get even cheaper than that, so this kind of makes it a little bit nicer to get. So I think the Collector's Edition could give you a little bit of LOTRO points. The Ultimate Fan Bundle could give you more, maybe like 500 for the collectors and maybe 2,000 for the Ultimate Fan Bundle. But I definitely think the Standard Edition should have the High Elf race. And you know, for a Standard Edition, getting just the High Elf race and Uriah of Valor is okay, and for $40, that's pretty base price and something you could expect. But I think the biggest flaw there is not including the High Elf race and making you pay $40 more for it. I think that's pretty bad. What I will be getting is probably the Collector's Edition, because I do, like, if I didn't play LOTRO too much and wasn't doing YouTube, I'd probably just get the Standard Edition, but because I want to do some series with High Elves and do some video coverage of that, I do want the High Elf race, and getting it basically early would be beneficial to me for that. And I don't mind getting extra cosmetics, and again, I don't mind paying to support Standing Stone Games and their work with LOTRO. It's just, I just can't really afford the Ultimate Fan Bundle right now, and the Collector's Edition does have some other nice things, but I just really wish the High Elf race was included with the expansion. I think that's a really bad move by Standing Stone Games, and everybody I've talked to has agreed so far. And again, I don't mind there being expensive options for people who like that. I think that's pretty good, because it does support Standing Stone Games for people who want that, so that is good that they have that. But again, the biggest thing is the High Elf. So overall, with this announcement and the release date and info and stuff like that, I overall would have expected basically something better, because this is like the first expansion in a while and they've been hyping it up pretty significantly, but then to do this to the players and customers, I think is pretty bad. And having a really early release date like this is also, I don't think, the best option for them. But maybe it will be pushed back until closer to August 31st. That could be a good thing, or it could just be smooth on release on July 31st, I don't know. For me to consider it smooth on release, it would have to have all the new models for all the races and have the High Elf and all that stuff completely finished and implemented. So one thing I really do hope Standing Stone Games considers from all this feedback I've been seeing is to move the High Elf race as base with expansion. It may be purchasable separately. Like if you aren't to Mordor but want to level a High Elf, you could do that. Kind of like how the Rune Keeper and Warden are purchasable separately from Moria, but they are included with Moria. They could do something like that. But that's pretty much the biggest thing out of this. The rest of the stuff isn't too bad. Again, the price on the collector's edition I think is a little bit high for what's included. I think they could include the XP accelerator like the other ones. Some LOTRO points would be something simple to add. I even think if they want to have a more expensive one, that would be fine for people who want it, and just include like more stuff. Maybe like some more Mordor cosmetics, a Mordor pet, a exclusive pet to that edition. Just for people who do want that type of stuff and want to support Standing Stone Games, it would be an option and maybe allow them to change some of the stuff with like the high elfin prices. Alright, so that will be it for this video. I know it was a bit long. It just seemed like there's a lot to cover, and I'm not trying to put like a big negative spin on the release of Mordor and Mordor in general, but this was just some feedback on that and my opinion on it, and I'd be interested to hear what you all think about the prices, release date, what's in the different editions, and I'll be sure to link that stuff in the description and comment. And thanks for watching, everyone.